The next topic that we'll be looking into are nested lists. Let's create a section for that. Nesting of lists means we just have a list inside another list. Let's just first look into just unordered list. Subsection unordered list. Let's go ahead and create a first nested list. To do this, we will create an unordered list. If you remember the environment for unordered list, you can go ahead and type it. In case you've forgotten it, you can go up top, click on the bullet list icon, and that adds the code for you. We have seen this much in our earlier section. Let's go ahead and add some items to this. Vegetables, fruits, flowers, recompile. Now what I want to do is, under fruits, I want to list a few specific fruits. To do this, I will start another itemized environment, begin, itemize, and let me just list a few fruits: apples, oranges, and say grapes. Perfect. We now have created a nested list because we have one list inside another list. Let me show here. So we have the outermost list which has bullet points, and we have a list in the inside which has hyphens as labels, right? To kind of distinguish from the outside list. In this case, we have two levels of nesting because we have one outer list and one inner list. Let's take this further. Under apples, I want to list different kinds of apples. So I go to the item apples. Underneath it, I'm going to start another list. Begin, itemize. So say we have green apples, red apples, and say pink. Recompile. Perfect. So now we have an outermost bullet list. Inside that we have a list which is hyphenated, and inside that we have a list with asterisk in it, right? So in this case we have 3-level nesting because we have a list inside another list. Let's take this one step further and say under green we list like different types of green apples. Granny Smith apples and others. Recompile. Alright, perfect. So if I were to go ahead with my labeling, this would be our outermost list, correct? And this would be our second list, third, and fourth. So we have like 4 levels of nesting. For this example's sake, let's go ahead and add another list under others. I will start another list by using begin, itemize. Say we are listing green apples from other countries. So India, Japan. Recompile. Alright, we have an error. It says too deeply nested. You can also go ahead and check your logs. Basically, it says the same thing, too deeply nested at like 115. So now what does this mean? If we see our output, we can see that India and Japan was supposed to be a sub list under others. So you would have others, and say here inside it you would have India and Japan, correct? However, if you see, India and Japan are on the same indentation as others, indicating that it did not create a sublist but just added to this ongoing list. Now, the reason we have this particular inconsistent output is because of the error, too deeply nested. Previously, we had successful outputs up until 4 levels of nesting. 4 levels of nesting, all okay. When we tried to achieve a 5th level of nesting, we got an error. This is because by default, LaTeX only allows 4 levels of nesting in your list. So let's just go ahead and comment this 5th level of nesting, recompile. Perfect, everything is good. Now, obviously, based on your requirement, you might need deeper lists. You can do this with packages. When you're stumped with default behavior of LaTeX, worry not. Look into various forums, look into various documentations available on LaTeX and the different package finders. There will mostly always be a way to achieve what you want using packages. Packages are the true heroes in LaTeX. Hope you can recognize this when we are done with this course, as we will be extensively using packages throughout. Let's try to achieve the same thing with ordered lists. So coming down, let's create a subsection ordered list. We can go ahead and add the itemized environment, which gives us ordered list. To do that, you can use the numbered list icon and you have the code, right? Just going to go with first entry, second entry, third entry. Say under first entry, I want to create sub entries. I need to again create the enumerate environment. So let's just call this L2, L2 implying second level of nesting, L2 first entry, L2 second entry. Recompile. This is very apparent, right? Because I've already labeled the entries as is L1 outermost, L2 innermost. So we have 2 levels of nesting. Say under L2 first entry, I want to create another sublist. Enumerate item. Say L3 first entry, item L3 second entry. Recompile. Just for the sake of completion, if I were to label them, we have our L1, this would be our L2, and this would be our L3. You can see the different types of numbering that's being used to kind of differentiate among the different lists. Now say under L3 second entry, I want to create another numbered list. Say I would use the enumerate item. Say L4 first entry, item L4 second with a capital S entry. Recompile. L1, L2, L3, and we have our L4. Again, if I want to nest further, say under L4 first entry, I create another enumerate environment for L5 first entry, L5 second entry. Recompile. As you might have guessed, we have an error of too deeply nested. We have a maximum nesting of level 4.